Sonic the Hedgehog is a series I love to death. Well, it's not as consistent like, say, Mario or Donkey Kong. The finds that this series can bring to the table can be an absolute treat, like the OG Boost trilogy, the classics, and the adventure titles. However, there is an important reason as to why the series is beloved by its fans, which is where we are going in today's video, where we talk about the first Sonic the Hedgehog, the game that started it all, and in my opinion, it holds up not too badly. So let's get into how Sonic 1 was such a good start to the franchise and answer the question, does it have any value? I recently did a playthrough of Sonic 1 a few hours ago from the time of this recording, and so I think I got a kind of an understanding on what I'm going to be tackling in today's video. So without further ado, let's get into this video, and I hope you guys like this video because this is the first time in a long while where I'm bringing the scripted videos back in action. Sonic the Hedgehog had its first game back in 1991. For the first time ever, Nintendo had competition. The typical Mario vs. Sonic discussion that everybody remembers well, even today. Nowadays, Mario beats Sonic in terms of consistency, but back then, Sonic's game dethroned Nintendo for a period of time. Crazy, right? Although this game is over 30 years old, so it might not age well compared to other games in the series. Despite this game having plenty of praise from the critics, the fanbase thought of its charm fading due to other games in the series. However, as I said, I am here to tell you why Sonic 1 is a solid start in the series despite its aging qualities. So, with all of that said, let us hop into the world of classic Sonic. The story is nothing special. It's just Eggman, or in this case, Dr. Robotnik, capturing robots, and Sonic rescues them and stops Robotnik in his tracks. Moving on, though. The gameplay is filled with zones that carry a level-to-level-like structure that is in your typical 90s platformer. Getting into the controls throughout the classics, the controls are as good as they can be. The movements are smooth, the jumps are smooth, and overall, your deaths will most likely not be due to the controls. Getting into the zones, there are a total of 6 zones, or 7 if you're counting the final zone. The first one, of course, is the iconic Green Hill Zone, easily one of the most recognizable video game levels of all time, so much so they keep on bringing it back non-stop until Superstars. All that aside, this is a fantastic level. It's fast-paced, the platforming is done pretty well, the multiple pathways you reach is whether high-skill platforming or using a roll mechanic to reach higher areas. The momentum-based physics works so well with Sonic's speed. And levels like Green Hill Zone shows how beautiful levels can work so well with the moveset that Sonic is given. It is a fantastic intro level, but it ultimately doesn't reflect the game's design entirely. An intro level is supposed to reflect what to expect for the game that you are playing. In Sonic 1, Green Hill's motivation only carries on for 2 full levels right after. Those 2 being Spring Yard Zone and Starlight Zone. The levels are bangers, but the other 3 are not following the philosophy of Green Hill. Instead, they either have slow-paced platforms throughout the level, kinda annoying level design, or even both. Does this make Sonic 1 a bad game? No, not entirely. It just lacks the consistency of all the other classic Sonic games. Even Sonic CD, which are far more divisive than the first game in the series. Going through the levels briefly though, Marble Zone isn't bad, just very slow paced. Spring Yard Zone is underrated, and it can be really fun to run through. Labyrinth Zone is the worst zone in Sonic 1, and thankfully as the worst that the game gets. Still a very bad level though, very slow and very annoying level design. Thankfully though, Starlight Zone is a great level, the best level in Sonic 1 by far. You have slopes, multiple pathways, very fast paced, and overall it just has the same level design as Green Hill Zone. Not the exact same level design of course, but it has very similar traits as to Green Hill Zone, as the ones I just mentioned. you flow through this zone and you realize that it's over when you don't want it to be over. You want to stay in the zone, man. Thankfully, the next zone isn't too bad either, at least in my opinion. Scrap Brain Zone is honestly a pretty fun zone in my opinion. While it's not perfect, and I do find the enemy placements to be very annoying, the skill ceiling that this zone carries is honestly pretty fun. Combined with the semi-short length of this level, thanks to skilled playthroughs, this zone is honestly pretty decent in my opinion. Until Act 3. The third act is once again Labyrinth Zone. Ugh. But yeah, the boss fight is good, the ending is passable, and the special stages are eh. Also, they don't really do much for the ending, they only add flowers throughout the ending as well. Forgot to add that there, but yeah, there you go. However, on a more positive note, the game looks visually pleasing for how old it is, and I like the music throughout this game. All the zones sound great with the soundtrack that they're given. The presentation of Sonic 1 is all to die for. And with that, that's pretty much it. I thought this to be a lot longer, but here we are. Now, keep in mind throughout the script, I did have to add my little parts in there as well, and I also kind of went off the script a little bit a couple times, so I apologize for that. And also, this conclusion is not scripted, so yeah, there's a note for you. Anyways, in conclusion, Sonic 1 to me, despite the consistency going off the rails, the game is pretty pleasing to go through for the most part. Labyrinth Zone kinda sucked, but all the other zones are okay at worst and very good at best, so it's not the worst consistency to have in a video game, although it definitely pales in comparison to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, let's just face that. But yeah, I plan on making a scripted video for pretty much all of the classic Sonic games, to be quite frank with you. And I do plan on playing through Sonic 2 after this. Yes, I'm going to Sonic 2 before Sonic CD. Sonic 2 did come before CD, so before you all go grab your pitchforks, I'll review Sonic CD after, alright? With all that said though, thank you all so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please leave a thumbs up and comment down below what you want to see for the channel. I'm probably going to take a little break for videos for a little bit. I do plan on doing part 2 of Help Wanted 2 there, so yeah, there you go. But anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.